Let's talk about the sun and astrology and its meaning. I'm Everett Kearney, and I want to discuss with you the sun as the first luminary in astrology and what it's all about. I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to reveal some oracle cards that I pulled from the Astro Guide Oracle by Saint Cat, talking about giving us more information from a spiritual perspective about the sun and astrology. So let's dive in. The sun traditionally rules the fiery, creative, zesty, and bold sign of Leo and the fifth house. It corresponds to the fifth house of creativity, of children, of the things that you create, of romance, of dating, that those kind of things are ruled by the fifth house. And Leo is a very egocentric energy that's all about the ego and that's all about the self. So the sun is about the self. The sun is about your ego. It reminds you that you're the center of your universe and you create your universe however you deem and want to create it. You're the center of your life. Just as the sun has all the other planets revolving around it. And so you are the star of your life. It's very leonine in nature. So the sun represents your will in life, your tenacity to put forth goals and achieve them out into the world. Your willpower is something ruled by the sun. If there's any challenges in your chart with the sun, such as squares or oppositions to the sun or conjunctions with malefic planets, then it can produce challenges with father figures because the sun rules the male energy. It's the masculine yang energy. It's the father figure. So there may be issues with those types of figures in your life. And the sun is also the hero archetype. So it represents you being the hero, you being not the villain, but the hero to save the people that you care about, that you love, and that you're loyal to in your life, and to be heroic, to take the lead in your life. The sun is our essence. The sun is also our inner self as well. So, how we are on an inner level, who we truly are, our identity is based off of the sign that our sun is in. And so practicality, unchanging, and deeply felt. This is also something related to the sun. The sun represents our capacity for achievement of going out into the world and achieving our goals. That capacity for achievement is something ruled by the sun. The sun is also how you um, interact with your environment, how you respond to your environment, how you react to your environment. That's also represented by the sun. How who you are to show up in the world on a day-to-day basis. Whereas the moon is who you are when you go home, you go into your inner self. Sun is who you are out in the world. It takes approximately a year for the sun to go around all 12 signs of the zodiac, meaning it spends a month in each specific sign. It spends around 30 days in each sign, Aries through Pisces. The sun is our identity. The sun is also leadership, our sense of leadership. And it also represents the protagonist, you being the protagonist of your life. Rings for life, that's also represented by the sun. So the sun makes you unique. The sun is all about, in astrology, it's all about the individual being a unique individual. You being a unique individual, you being who you are, authentically who you are, is represented by the sun in astrology based off of whatever sign it is in for you. And so the sun is very, very egocentric. It's all about the ego, not the soul, but the ego. The sun is also very high energy, represents your energy levels. The sun is also your conscious mind. as well. So not your unconscious, but your conscious mind, your reasonably thinking through processes of your life, which is Mercury, which is the closest planet to the sun. But anyway, it's your vitality, your sense of vitality. Vitality is very closely associated with the sun. It's also important to understand that creative ability is also represented by the sun. So you being creative, you being right brain, coming up with things, creating your own life, manifesting your own life, manifesting your own reality. The sun is all about you being the creator of your own reality. And so it's how you meet and how you um respond to the challenges, how you face the challenges, how you deal with the challenges in everyday life. That's also represented by the sign that your sun is in. The sun rules over men. It rules over fatherly figures and children. That's also very, very closely represented with the sun. So men, fatherly figures, and children because of the fifth house. The sun rules the fifth house, as I discussed earlier in this video. The fifth house is all about children. The sun is also authority, also represents your sense of authority. Um, you being the authority of your life. Manifesting yourself in the world is also represented by the sun. Royalty and higher offices. Your health and well-being is also something that is represented by the sun in astrology. The sun rules over strength and a will to succeed. You have strength, you have a very, very powerful sense of strength and a will to succeed. The sun represents the sign that you're becoming in this life, that you start off on the base baby level and you become the expert master of it as you go through life. The sun is who you're stepping into, who you're becoming, who you're leaning into in your life, who you're evolving into in your life. And so the sun reflects the present, the here and now. The sun is all about being present in the here and now, showing up for your life, being here and now in your life. Positive qualities if you're embodying your sun, you are purposeful, proud, directed, and creative. On the negatives of expressing your sun sign, you can be self-centered, egotistical when expressing your sun sign. And so the sun represents reason as opposed to instinct. It's all about your conscious mind, as I listed before, your sense of logic. The sun can indicate life purpose as well. Whatever house that your sun is placed in, it's in what area of life do you express your sun qualities. For example, my sun is in the fourth house, so I would express it in the home and family setting. My sun in Aries, I will be very, very assertive and also impulsive in the home and family setting. So, the sun position shows where your personality comes across. Your will to live and your life force is also represented by the sun. The sun also represents life purpose. It's also something the sun is all about. And then something also to know about the sun is there's a such thing as combust planets. When the planets are close enough, only a few degrees away from the sun, sometimes what can happen is that the sun can burn out those qualities of the planets, which is called combustion. It takes away their qualities, muddling them and modeling them. The sun is also courage, your sense of courage, The sun is weak in houses 4 and 7, your home and family life, your roots. And the seventh house is your relationships. The sun is considered detriment in the sign of Aquarius because the sun is all about yourself, you being the center of your universe. You expressing your creative energy. The me, I energy in Aquarius is about groups, humanity, the collective, collaboration, working together. And it's in fall in Libra. Sun is exalted in Aries, which is about the self in general, and it's in fall in Libra because it's about relationships and it wants harmony and it is overly accommodating, overly compromising. It needs validation from the partners in order to do what it wants to do. The sun just wants to do what it wants to do, and it wants to be self-righteous and focus on itself. And Libra is so other-oriented. So that's why the sun is considered fall in the sign of Libra. So the sun is also arrogance. At the low level, it can be very arrogant in terms of its qualities. Open-heartedness and generosity are also qualities represented by the sun. Playfulness, the sun is also playfulness, your sense of play. Self-expression, taking risks to express ourselves, being self-expressive, is very highly represented by the sun. Self-confidence is also something the sun represents, is also something. Integrity, the sun is your ego. The sun is your basic identity. It represents self-realization, who you are basically. And the fifth house, which the sun rules, is about enjoying and making the most out of life. So now let's move on to the oracle cards that I chose for what does the collective need to know about the sun and astrology. So the cards that I chose were, first of all, deprivation, a message from the healer guides, and creativity, a message from the helper guides. So this is truly all about connecting with your fifth dimension self and being creative. As I said, the sun is about creative energy. Your healer guides will help restore abundance in your life. The sun is very much connected to abundance and making the most out of the here and now. Are you hoarding or holding on too tightly to what you have that what isn't right for you? The sun wants you to be your authentic self. So relax into the flow of the universe and trust your experiences as you go along and go with the flow of the universe, allow new energy to come into, allow you to be absorbed with new energy. Poverty is something very, very closely associated with this, which true poverty is you being as disconnected from the divine as you possibly can. When you're prosperity, when you're abundant, you're tapped into divine source. You're connected with the divine. You have a direct dial to the divine. This is all about reconnecting to spirit and the divine, which is, connecting with your own spirit, connecting with your own divine energy. The helper guides want you to take chances, make mistakes, and be creative. Get messy, just paint outside of the lines. Get messy, embrace life. Be willing to try new things and see how they work. And if you don't like the result, then go back to the drawing board. But be creative, take those chances, make those mistakes. And so you have the option to choose what you want to create or what you don't want to create. You can create whatever you want to. And so are you feeling a deep feeling of insecurity about your physical possessions and finances? Are you wrapping your self-worth and your abundance on the physical things, or are you wrapping it on the inner abundance, inner wealth? And you're getting too caught up in physical possessions and finances, and you don't feel like you have enough, you continually tell yourself. that you don't have enough, that you're not worthy enough because you don't have enough in the physical realm. And how are you depriving yourself? Are you depriving yourself? That's also something to keep in mind. This is about connecting with your heart and reconnecting with your joy. That's also something about this as well. Connect with your inspiration. Do what you're inspired to do. Inspired meaning in spirit, what you feel inspired to do. Um, and so pick up your paintbrushes, pick up your crayons, your colored pencils, and be creative, or whatever tools that you use to do what you create. As whatever you define as creative. It doesn't have to be music or painting alone. It can be whatever you define as creative. It can be cooking or gardening that can be very, very creative. So be creative and do what you define as this is what I do when I'm feeling in a creative space. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope this was insightful. I hope this was helpful, meaningful for you, and um, I hope this provided a good understanding of information about the sun. And then in the next video, I'm going to be talking about breaking the sun down through each individual sign of the zodiac. So we're going to talk about the sun in Aries in the next video. So bye for now, everybody.